Well, it's official. As of today, Jade Cargill is now part of WWE, and she is at the Performance Center, or was at the Performance Center today or this past week. And honestly, the way pretty much it was made official is WWE pretty much gave, the breaking news over to ESPN, who even labeled it as breaking news. And then WWE did the same. And basically, they have been making a big deal out of this from the get-go. I mean, they've been basically, tweeting about this, Facebooking about this, social mediaing about this. They've even basically been doing Instagrams and YouTube shorts about this as well, even showing her arrive, at the Performance Center, basically on the day that she signed, if you will. So they're making a big deal out of this. They're making this a huge deal, when it comes to Jade Cargill, or whatever her name might be. Maybe it will be Jade Cargill. We're not really sure. It might be Jade and a different last name or name that they give her, but we'll see. But yeah, they are treating her like the biggest signing in the women's division, in a long time, if not in decades. But here's why they're doing this. They're doing it because because basically they're shoving it in Tony Khan's face. That's what they're doing. You see, Tony Khan can come out and, say all these positive, nice things about Jade and wish her the best of luck in whatever she does, especially if it's WWE. But you know as well as I do that Tony Khan is pissed. And that's a fact. He is pissed at the fact that WWE, mostly Paul Levesque, a.k.a. Triple H, got another one of his, top names to jump ship over to WWE. I mean, first it was Cody, going back to WWE, after a few years with AEW. And now here you have Jade Cargill. And what's ironic is both of them held championships that represented the networks that the AEW shows are on. Like the TNT title represented, at first Dynamite and then basically Collision and Rampage. And then, of course, you have Jade Cargill, who was the TBS champion. And, of course, for a bit, she just represented Rampage and all that as the champion, or at least one of the networks that AEW would be on. But then Dynamite came around, and of course that became a big deal. Basically, the ironicness, the commonness, if you will, between the two, is they held essentially the equivalent of the Intercontinental Championship and U.S. Championships, in AEW. And now, all of a sudden, they're being treated like a big, big deal, bigger than they ever were in AEW. And Jade is a good example of that right now because, like I said, WWE is basically paving the road for her. They are laying out the red, not the red, let me correct that. They are laying out the golden carpet, if you will, for this woman, as we speak. And they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it to shove it in Tony Khan's face. You cannot tell me that this is not a strategic plan by Paul Levesque, a.k.a. Triple H, Nick Khan, and maybe by extension Vince McMahon, but mostly the first two that I mentioned. You cannot tell me this is not a strategic plan on their part to shove it in Tony Khan's face and show him that, hey, look, we're already treating her like a bigger deal than you ever could. It shows why we're always going to be the better, wrestling promotion than you. Like, you could be the alternative all you want, but the truth is, you are nothing more than WCW 2.0, and you know it. That's what they're doing. That's why they're doing this. This is why they are basically pushing her straight out of the gate, even before she steps into the WWE ring, whether it's for Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. That's why they're doing this. That's why they're doing it. Now, you might say, well, why don't they just have her go to NXT first? Build her up there. And they could have her go to NXT. But here's the thing. Did they have AJ Styles go to NXT? No, straight to the main roster. And there's been a lot of examples where people that should be NXT bound first, go to the main roster right away, and they show that they can get the job done, that they can adapt and even learn on the job. As crazy as this might sound, one person that's done that recently, or two actually that have done that recently, Logan Paul, Bad Bunny. Those two have proven that with the right training, you can skip NXT, go to the main roster, and basically show that, hey, you could be just as good, if not better, believe it or not, than some of the actual talent on that main roster. Now, with Jade, they are going to take their time apparently. They know she's good. They probably knew and heard, and even, contacted Bryan Danielson, himself to find out, what he was training her with on and how they could probably adapt that and apply that over with her training in the Performance Center. But they are taking their time with her because they know if they put her to the main roster, they want to make sure she is main roster ready in ring-wise. That is why right now they're making a big deal about it. They're making a big deal about it because basically they want everybody. I guarantee you this, probably already as it's being aired. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I guarantee you this right now, as it's being aired, Eastern time-wise, I guarantee WWE already has Vic Joseph and Booker T talking about, this signing. I bet you anything. And I bet you anything they're going to do the same thing on Friday with Michael Cole, Kevin Patrick, and Corey Graves. Bet you anything. And they're doing it, again, like I said, because it's all part of the strategic, plan to shove it in Tony Khan's face and AEW's face that, hey, look, we're treating one of your own even better than you ever could. So, yeah, right off the bat, after she's officially signed, they are basically rolling out that golden carpet for her, and they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. There's no denying that. There's no denying that. They are doing it on purpose. It is a strategic plan and to shove it right in Tony Khan's face. And again, like I mentioned, Tony Khan can come out and be all happy and all that and be like, oh, I'm happy for Jade. I hope she does good. Da, 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 da. No, deep down he's like, USOB Paul Levesque. How dare you shove that in my face? How dare you do that? USOB, one day I will prove you wrong. One day I will get even with you. That is how he truly feels. I bet you anything. Think about it this way. If he didn't really feel that way, then why couldn't he work out an agreement to let the Jacksonville Jaguars championship belt be put on sale on NFLshop.com, via WWE? Why didn't he let that happen? Because he is bitter. He's competitive. And he doesn't like to admit when he is wrong or he doesn't want to admit defeat. That's a fact. He's one of those kind of people. Like, he can put a smiling face on all he wants. He can go smile and wave and hug and all that, and that's great. But deep down, he is seething. At the fact that everywhere people are talking and touting and showing videos and photos and interviews of Jade Cargill in WWE. He is seething with anger. He is pissed off. Again, he could be all like, I'm happy for Jade, but deep down he's like, USOB Paul Levesque, how dare you embarrass me? This is wrong. How dare you humiliate me? This is wrong. I will get even. You cannot tell me he doesn't feel that way right now, because he does. And you know what? I guarantee. I'm not there. I'm not a fly on the wall, but I guarantee you, a lot of the talent that's flying out to wherever Dynamite is this week and Collision is this week, I guarantee you. I think Collision's in what are they? Collision's in Seattle. So basically, are they all in Seattle? I think they're all in Seattle. I'm not really sure, but I guarantee you, all of them that are heading up to the state of Washington, for this week's AEW shows and Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. I guarantee you, and this is just my opinion, but I guarantee you, a lot of them are snickering. They're seeing this and they are snickering. They are laughing. And not because, they're laughing at the fact that WWE is doing a better job of promoting one of their own even better than AEW, but they're snickering and laughing because, once again, the guy that basically tries to be a boss and has proven that he could be, but not all the time, they're laughing and snickering at the fact that Triple H, Paul Levesque, once again has humiliated him by doing just this. Because again, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Think about it. Did they do this with anybody else they've signed? No. They never did it with anybody else. But they're doing it with Jade. They're doing it with Jade. And why? Why are they doing it with Jade right off the bat? Why didn't they do it with someone like, let's say, Cody? And, Cody was a surprise, but pretty much we all knew he was coming. So why didn't they just hint at that? But still, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Why are they doing this with Jade? To shove it in Tony Khan's face. To shove it, smush it, wipe it all over his face, and say, ha ha, gotcha, we beat you again. You see, Tony Khan's not going to admit it. And, let's be honest, Tony Khan's not going to admit it, but the reason AEW is being looked down upon now, and it shouldn't be, because they have all the talent, all the necessities and everything to be the best alternative wrestling promotion in the world. And the reason people don't view them as that anymore, because like I said, people are viewing them exactly as Triple H views them, as Nick Khan views them, as nothing more than WCW 2.0. And honestly, there are people that probably think Tony Khan should just change the name of All Elite Wrestling to WCW 2.0. Be done with it, But we'll have to see we'll have to see how he bounces back from this. There are rumors and reports going around that, Adam Copeland, Edge, is going to show up at Wrestle Dream. That might happen. We're not really sure. His contract is up. He's a free agent now. He can do whatever he wants. Will he decide to hop on a plane, keep himself hidden, and then appear during the Christian Darby Allin match, at Wrestle Dream? We don't know. But the thing is, he's going to have to find a way to bounce back. And you cannot tell me that if he is, you can't tell me this. You cannot tell me that if he gets Adam Copeland, that he won't try to replicate what WWE's done, with Jade. And presenting, we signed him, he's all elite. You can't tell me he won't do that, because he will. He will. But we'll see. We'll see what he does. But again, the reason Jade is being pushed in this manner, unlike anybody else that's come from any other promotion in the history of the company, is by purpose. It is by purpose. It is by strategy. It is by intimidation. It is basically by the fact that Paul Levesque, Triple H, wants to humiliate and is humiliating Tony Khan once again. And Tony Khan, as I said, could be all happy and smiles and wine and roses, in the public, hearing about this and wishing Jade everything and all the best. But deep down, he is seething. He is pissed. He is mad. You know it. And I guarantee you what's going to happen. Again, I guarantee you, if he gets Adam Copeland, he'll try to replicate Adam Copeland's arrival to AEW to be similar to Jade's. But I guarantee you this as well. I guarantee you what's going to happen is it's going to cause him to put a major focal point on all the women in his women's division. It will. Because if he doesn't want to lose someone else to WWE, whether it's a former WWE talent back to WWE or it's an AEW original talent, if he doesn't want to lose them, I guarantee you one of the repercussions is him focusing more on the women's division and say, ladies, I have an announcement for you. We're going to focus more on the women's division. In fact, you're going to main event all the pay-per-views and all the shows from here on in because the women are the most important thing to AEW. Now, I wouldn't say he's going to do that, but I can envision, him thinking, how is he going to bounce back? And him basically envisioning, hey, I could do something like that. That would be something he'd look into. Just to try to make sure no other women, when their contracts are up or anything, decide to jump ship. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if he does that too. I wouldn't be. But yeah, they're making a big deal about this, and I guarantee you he is not happy about it. He can be smiling, all smiles and roses, and I hope Jade does good. No, he is pissed. He's pissed. He's seething. He's mad because once again, whether you like to hear it or not, Triple H, Paul Levesque, has humiliated him. He has humiliated him, embarrassed him, and here's the thing. Jade hasn't even stepped inside a WWE ring yet. She's in a ring right now, or as we speak, training at the Performance Center, taking what she's already learned from Bryan Danielson, and them taking what Bryan Danielson has taught her by probably talking to him, and applying it to what they know, as well as applying it to what they know as well to her training, and basically improving on it. But the thing is, again, this is all planned. This is all by plan. This is all by strategic maneuvering. That's what it is. And the ultimate goal of this, was to humiliate Tony Khan in AEW. Basically, it's to send a message of, hey, you don't want us to make you look bad or humiliate you by showing that not even before they step in the ring, we can make your talents look bigger and better than you ever could. Then you better start stepping up your game and doing the same thing. That to me is the message they're sending. It's like, hey, if you don't want us to keep humiliating you like this, then treat your stars like the big deals that they are. That's the message they're sending. Because again, this is all strategically planned. This is all strategically planned, and Tony Khan, he is eating the biggest. He is eating the biggest plate of crow and humble pie reluctantly that I think he's ever eaten. Outside of what's happened with Brawl Out, firing CM Punk, and everything, he's eaten a lot of humble pie, a lot of crow, and they've been probably big dishes, but this is probably one of the biggest ones he's eaten because, yeah, he's looking at one of his homegrown talents being treated bigger and better than he even could, present her. So, yeah, Jade is now WWE. She's all WWE, if you will. Not all elite. She's all WWE. And all Tony Khan. And again, it's all by strategic planning. That's what it is. It's all by strategy. And all Tony Khan can do right now is just eat a lot of humble pie. And basically pretend to be happy, but deep down he is seething. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are. How do you think Tony Khan might be really feeling about this right now? Do you agree with my opinions on how I think he truly feels? And do you think WWE did all this announcing and basically rolling out the golden carpet for her Do you think they did it on purpose to humiliate, Tony Khan in AEW? Let me know. And until next time.